सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। वेदव्यास वैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अथ तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणं सदाचार प्रशंसा, that is the last portion of Bhruguvalli we have to do as chanting today. As every day, I am sure you are enjoying the chanting because you are doing it with your liking, you are doing it with your desire to learn it. You are doing the chanting with knowing the glory both of the Veda mantra, glory also of chanting them, with which all the Rishi Guru Parampara become pleased. Just like somebody composes a poem, if you read that poem, that person becomes so happy. Another person made a painting, you just write a comment on that, that person becomes happy. So these Veda mantras are revealed to the Rishi Muni, given by Bhagavan for our own liberation out of their own extreme love and compassion. When we become the regular students of this Veda mantras of all the three types, listening the mantras, chanting and learning the mantras, knowing the meaning and trying to meditate on them, the entire Guru Parampara, Rishi Parampara, Guru Tattva, Bhagavan becomes pleased to bless us. This is a firm faith we have to have because it is a fact. Now, with this little preparation in the mind, let us take this chanting itself as the greatest prayer, greatest upasana, greatest meditation also. Start. अथ पारायणम् अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली सदाचारप्रदर्शनं ब्रह्मानन्दानुभवश्च। ॐ न कञ्चन वसतौ प्रत्याचक्षेत तद्व्रतं तस्माद् यया कया च विधया बह्वन्नं प्राप्नुयात् अराध्यस्मा अन्नमित्याचक्षते एतद्वै मुखतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मुखतोऽस्मान्नगं राध्यते एतद्वै मध्यतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मध्यतोऽस्मान्नगं राध्यते एतद्वा अन्ततोऽन्नगं राद्धं अन्ततोऽस्मान्नगं राध्यते य एवं वेद क्षेम इति वाचि योगक्षेम इति प्राणापानयोः कर्मेति हस्तयोः गतिरिति पादयोः विमुक्तिरिति पायौ इति मानुषीः समाज्ञाः अथ दैवीः तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युते यश इति पशुषु ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासेत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति तन्मह इत्युपासेत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासेत मानवान् भवति तन्नम इत्युपासेत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासेत ब्रह्मवान् भवते तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासेत पर्येण म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रियाः भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंवित् अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरूप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत्सामगायन्नास्ते हा वो हा वो हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदः गश्लोककृदः गश्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न भायि यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतेः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः अध्ययनम् ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः प्रार्थनामन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो वेदव्यास वैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः. Very good. You are helping yourself by being to the class every day. Now the next step is same. Today's introductory thought is once we start thinking in our life as to what is happening, what has to happen. The next stage, what we have to do is what we have to do to help ourselves, for ourselves to grow. Thinking, understanding, implementing. What we have to do to help the Guru and Paramatma, for them to help us to grow. Because they are also bent upon helping us. You have to bear with me in today morning classes for the internet problem. By afternoon it will be okay. So, in a little of our maturity, we have to think as to what we have to do to help ourselves for our own growth, what we have to do to make the God and Guru to help us to grow. In the first case of what we have to do to help ourselves to grow is little by little only vivekam, little by little only vairagyam. Overnight everything will not go away. So, depending on our age, depending on what we have gone through already in life, looking into the other wonderful living life, living people, and getting from them inspiration, at least from those absolutely unwanted things, time consuming, energy consuming things, we have to slowly have the vairagya. This it is the help which we to do ourselves. So to let the health be of in a good condition as much as we can. For that, whatever minimum that can be done, let us do. Because if the health is not good, we can't do sadhana. So to all our faculties kept intact. But more important are these two, the shantata of the mana. As much as possible, we can bring the mind to quietness to help ourselves to grow spiritually. By whatever the means the mind is disturbed, it is wrong. By whatever the means the mind is quietened, it is right. Generally, by believing in Lord generally by accepting the world as it is, generally by reducing our expectations. These are the few ways by which many out of many few are the ways by which we can make the mind relatively less agitated. This help we have to do to help ourselves. This work we have to do to help ourselves. And another thing we can attempt is what? Always trying to be in the sattva guna. Right now, in which predominant guna we are, we have to know. By destiny, because of our Papa Punya done in the earlier life, earlier times, also the arrival and departure of the gunas is there. Suddenly, why the sattva guna comes, we don't know. And again, suddenly the sattva is gone. Jitna vi pakadna cha rahe ho, tamas and entered so much. You, with so much of interest, you came to class to listen. Within 10 minutes only, you got the sleep. By the time the sleep is over, class is over. Class is over, sleep is over. Happens sometimes. That is by nature, by prarabdha. Apart from that, from our side also, as our purushartha, we have to will desire for gaining and maintaining that sattva guna, and that desire is fulfilled by knowing what to do to make the mind sattva guna. Main thing is the food. Main thing is activities. Main thing is the rest. Satvika food when we take, minimize our activities when we do, sufficient rest when we time, will be in absolute sattva guna. And the company of sattvic people, lot of time doing japa, lot of time is every day, many days. Upasana japa, all these are the techniques by which we can maintain our sattva guna as much as possible. All the time it cannot be, yet there is always a success when we put an attempt. We have to succeed in attempting. Attempt leads to success. These are the minimum things we have to do to help ourselves to grow. What help we have to do to the God and the Gurus and the Shruti Mata to help us? The help we have to do to the Lord is our faith in Him. The help we have to do to the Lord is our prayers to Him, in which we express our willingness to grow spiritually. You know, like yesterday also we said in one of the context, in all the upasana sankalpa from now onwards, our spiritual sadhana we have to add as a priority. This makes the Lord come out of his inhibition to help us spiritually. Lord also is in his own doubts and inhibitions. Because if we don't want, he will not impose on us. We want, and he knows that, and we express to him that really we want to grow spiritually, he will be doubly happy to help us. Yesterday, like Hanumanji was ready to receive the jnanam, Bhagavan was so happy, he asked Sita ji to give. After she gave, he himself again takes up and gives the essence of all Upanishads to Bhagavan Hanuman. So, to the Lord, what help we have to do is not asking Him anything else and asking Him for spiritual sadhana, by which we tell Him, show Him our willingness. Yeah? And always remember, the interest in spiritual sadhana will not come in one day. It's a long satsang listening where we know the glory of spirituality and the unglory of the worldliness. Sometimes what happens is the glory of spirituality we know, but more glorious than spiritual is the world. In that notion we are there. That also many a time become habits because of attachments. From that, when we come out and really genuinely understand and accept Adhyatmikata being the best life, then in our prayers we can add this as priority. Earlier we were asking everything to the Lord, not spirituality. Now what should be our sankalpa? Oh Lord, other things whether give or not, it is your choice. But I want to grow spiritually. Give me all the ability, opportunity, and efforts. This should be our asking. योगक्षेमम आपकी मर्जी है, बट योगस्य क्षेमम हमारी मर्जी. Yogakshem is, and yogasya kshemam, the proper spiritual unfoldment sadhana, whatever required for that, inner and outer conveniences. Hey Bhagavan, as a result of our puja, if you are pleased and want to give, please give. This is the help we have to do to the Lord for the Lord to help us. Then what help we have to do to the Guru and Shruti Mata? Again same. The Shraddha and Bhakti toward that Guru who is teaching us. The Shraddha and Bhakti toward that Shastra. How do you express the Shraddha Bhakti? Only two ways. By being regular in our Shravanam and by regular in our homework of again study at home, Swadhyayam and Mananam. These are the helps we can do to the Shastra and Guru for them to help us. When these only few, not many, are taken up as commitment, as a duty, as a vrata, as an anushtanam, as an dhruti, when we do them without compromising, then we can see the beginning days by God's kripa, really sattva coming, willingness to be spiritual coming, we can see in us. Slowly we can see our being regular to the classes. We can also see we find time for swadhyaya. With these two, we can see the understanding is happening of the Paramatatva only at the understanding level. Then a day will come where there are so many rishis, munis tried, experienced the truth. Then I also must experience that starts coming. But immediately after with the thought, the other thought also comes. Oh, no, no, no. If I have to have that, then I have to give up all my worldly enjoyment. Therefore, I will not want Atma Jnanam. Let me enjoy the world. Theoretically, take a rando. In this way, for 1 year, 2 year, one life, two life continues. Later on, with all the earlier experience of the worldliness, again the thought revisits us. And that time it will be more stronger. Every Mahatma realizes that why not me? What is of these worldly experiences? I've gone through them so many times. This time let me try for spiritual experience. And if it is not appearing to be greater, we will give it that up and again take back to our earlier samsara. This type of thought or any of such thoughts. Bhagavan gives and gives strongly. With that, our attempts on the seat of contemplation, meditation become more serious, sincere, regular. And we will be able to do that joyfully because it is our choice. When one that way, morning, evening, Raat, Subha, as many times as possible, he is withdrawing, weaning away from the world, his mind, and focusing through the Shastra Vakya on Paramatma. Why will not it be understood? Bolo? And it is very deep, it is very sublime, it is beyond many layers of doubts, confusions, questions, and thicknesses of tamoguna, definitely. But the continuous, constant attempt will slowly make us pierce through all these layers. And because already we are having the Guru Krupa, because we are Guru Bhakta, we are having Ishvara Krupa, Ishvara Bhakta, we are Shruti Krupa, because Shruti Bhakta. Therefore, their blessing also sees to it that slowly, steadily, one by one, first of all, very grosser things start becoming clear to us. Like the need of Viveka Vairagya, meaning of Viveka Vairagya, practice of Viveka Vairagya, achieving the Viveka Vairagya, यहाँ से लेकर के the intricate things about the variety of understandings that the Vedanta is putting in front of us to disprove the reality given to the world and to prove the reality given to the self, these things start understandable to us. With this contemplation understanding, when the desire becomes stronger again, then finally let me experience myself to Satchidananda, then the attempts of deep meditation. That also full of fears. Because we are having such a hold on this vyavahara or deha bhava or the worldliness, there is always a dilemma कि वो कुछ आत्मा है कि नहीं पता उसके अटेम्प्ट में आई एम लिविंग दिस सो इफ दैट सेल्फ इज नॉट देयर that also goes away. this also goes away. Therefore, that dilemma never makes us attempt the higher sadhanas deeply. Everybody will have to go through this. But again, at that time, when we intensify our study, get clarified about these things from the Guru, when the Guru says that self is real, that is truth, that is substratum, in that experience only there is bliss, there is liberation, not in what you were so far. In this very inspiring words, like Hanumanji give the assurance to Sitaji, Sri Rama will come, kill all Rakshasas, will take you. You go to Ayodhya, all of the Narada, the rishis in all the three lokas, they will sing your glory. Trivupura Naradadi Jesu Gai Hahi Toi Lai Jai Hahi. Rama will come soon, kill Ravana, take you, you get established in Ayodhya, your glory will be sung by all the three worlds. No, she was in only a fear and doubt whether Rama hai ki nahi zinda. And when will Ravana or any of the Rakshasas kill me? She was in that lower mind and mood because of situation around. But the Guru Hanumanji gave totally different picture. That Rama is there, he is already started coming. Not only that, he will come, he will kill your enemies, he will save you, he will take you. Your glorious life is sung all the world. When this new information is given to her, she was charged newly. So instead of worrying, she was started more positively, optimistically, praying the Rama to come soon. In the same way, in our those levels of doubts, when we approach the great gurus, they empower us. Through the inspiration of no, 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 the truth is real. That alone is blissful. That is the real substratum. It's only because you are away from it, it appears to be vague, and in that vagueness, you are confusing in taking the world as real. World is every moment changing. Only you are imagining it is same, but it is not so. But truth alone is real. The entire world is projection on that. In this way, Guru goes on empowering us with inspiration. That inspiration takes us to the higher steps of meditation, deeper meditation. When you go deep into meditation, slowly one by the one, the outer layers go away. When the outer layers are transcended, it in the beginning appears to be frightening. Like any bungee jumping, when from the helicopter you jump. In the beginning, so frightening. Thought itself is so frightening. क्या हो जाएगा अगर पैराचूट नहीं खुला तो? Is it not? How frightening it would be. But then, well educated, small attempts made, then slowly we do it. डर तो सबको रहेगा. But how much ever डर it is, once, twice, thrice when you go, like first day the child goes to school, so much is afraid, mother is not there. After 2 months, the teachers are afraid of the shaitan. In the same way, slowly when we go into, fears go on. But in the beginning, like yesterday, that NASA, Kennedy, they were frightened because of that over temperature in that particular apparatus. They frightened, then they did not shoot up the rocket up. They rescheduled that one because such a 4.1 billion or trillion money spent, it should not be wasted. And that person who said, we do not waste it, and we are sure our scientists are so experts that they will set it and very soon will launch it. No, they want to send it, and moon it will be around that. Mars also it will go some distance and come, and it will estimate all the possibilities of human beings going there. So in the next attempt, they want to send in such a huge heavy one the living human beings, which takes some 5 6 months to go there. It was done long back by those people. Well, 64 mein jabhi again. But the point is what we are listening. The hitch that came did not demoralize them, but they were inspired. So too, whenever we are demoralized, go to Guru, refer to the great stories of Mahatmas, study such Shastra, get re-inspired and start attempting. Clear? In this way, right from the first step up, we help ourselves to grow. Two, we help the Guru and God to help us for our growth. When we are conscious about these things, आज मैंने क्या किया मेरे मुझे अपने आप का मदद करने के लिए, साधना में आगे बढ़ने के लिए, और क्या करने वाला हूँ, क्या करना चाहता हूँ, चाहिए क्या कर सकूंगा. Next, we have so many hours left for the day. So till 11 o'clock in the night means now 9 o'clock, let us say. So we have 13, 14 hours. Think in what way I can help myself. In what way I can help the Shastras to help me. And remember, with our seriousness, sincerity, regularity, commitment, it is a question only of few years, the vagueness will be there. After those relentless application for those 10, 6, 8 years, the vagueness goes away. The clarity comes. The understand becomes pakka as to why Brahma Atma alone is real, why Brahma Atma alone is my essential nature, why becoming or identifying with Brahma and Atma alone is cause of the dukkha, mukti from all the dukkha once for all, and all the Shashvata Ananda Prapti. All these convictions come. Few years we have to have patience to regularly listen, for which you are already started last 2 years. Lot of leaps we have taken in 2 years in our understanding because our relentlessness and consistency of so many classes. Little bit homework also we do, make your own notes, involve more deeply in every subject that is studied. Clarity will be quicker and deeper. Surely it's going to happen. Give it up, then all gone. Jo bhi kya pani pherna. Like one or two people, they were regular, they gave up. Where they are lost, we don't know. You don't do that. That's only my request. Little bit chance you give yourself of what I said earlier, opposite of that. Of instead of helping yourself, doing harm in this way, then nobody can help us later on. लास्ट पीपल आर यू शुड नॉट डू दैट मुश्किल है जैसे हम कल ने भी कहा कल भी इट इज नॉट इजी इट इज टफ इट इज लॉन्ग जर्नी इट इज वेरी सबलम इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट्स पेन्स किसी ने भी कभी इस बात को मना नहीं किए ये ऐसे ही होता है along with our regular study. These are the points also when we keep on contemplating simultaneously. Together, they help us. One side we are studying, but it is not becoming effective. Reasons are we have not helped ourselves, we have not helped the Shastra and Guru sufficiently. So ponder over and act at this level. Sometimes we help ourselves, but we are not again regular in study sadhana. तो दोनों को बैलेंस करते हुए we can ensure that we are joyfully doing what is supposed to be done. As a result, we are seeing the joy of our own spiritual growth also. And anytime the confusion, the vagueness, just at the feet of the Lord and the Guru. Don't give up. Don't go away कि समझ में नहीं आ रहा या कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ इसे छोड़ दूंगा. These are the negative devils in us. Never allow them to come. This much if we do, definitely, slowly, steadily, little by little, all the adhyatmika spashtata we starts coming to us, both toward the Lakshyam and Margam, and we really will be on the Margam toward the Lakshya. May entire Rishimuni Guru Parampara, whom we are remembering throughout the day, take care of us, bless us. May Shruti Mata, whose feet we are holding, bless us. May the Guru Tattva bless us. May our Ishta Devata also bless us. Now in Taittiriya Upanishad, Siksha Valli, Navamonuvakaha, what a beautiful thing. Yesterday, whole day we have spent it in trying to understand the meaning of these mantra in more practical way by which in the world also we are helped. Earlier day we saw the deeper Shankara Bhagavan given meaning, which is the ultimate meaning. What was that? Continue your daily routine, vyavaharas, obligation, duties uncompromisingly. At the other side, be regular in your Swadhyaya Pravachana also. Strike full perfect balance between both of them so that none of them are missed. And what we discussed yesterday was we made the word Swadhyaya Pravachana applied to each of these Vyavahara itself. We said Rutam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha means what? Rutam, you do the Swadhyaya. Understand the glory of that Ruta. You practice. You see the benefit of it. Then do the Pravachanam about the Rutam to everyone so that others also, like anything good we enjoy, we should help others also to enjoy that. That's a common sense and maturity. A beautiful scene when you see, you call others dekho bhai. See, if all the scientists or the poets, etc., painters, whatever, their great discoveries or achievements, if they are not given to us human beings, we would have enjoyed all this or what? They were never selfish, no? In the same way, pravachane. So to satyam, swadhyaya, pravachana. Every of these 12 things that are said here and all other things which are not mentioned here or will be told later or said in other class, other text or we have heard, all which are noble thoughts, noble convictions, noble endeavors. The nobility of them by proper thinking, we get convinced, we practice them, we get the benefit of that. With that conviction, practice, and the benefit as the authority, we have to give this to others also. That is called as pravachana. That's called pravachana. Prakarshena vachana. Prakarshana means with all the strength of your conviction, love, and concern for them that they also should get benefit about that, and without any personal malice or selfishness. That sort of trying to put the people in the right path for their spiritual evolution is called a pravachana. Never have pramada also in that, or do it as anushtana. In this way, all the 12 things we have seen yesterday, so we will not repeat all of them. Repeat what are they? Just to say the names. Enjoy the chanting of mantra. Om Hrudanja Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Satyanja Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Tapascha Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Damascha Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Shamascha Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Agnayascha Swadhyaya Pravachanecha Agnihotram cha Swadhyaya Pravachanecha अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराथीतरः तप इति तपो नित्य पौरुषिष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धिदपस्तद्धिदवः. Thank God we have not missed anything. So just for the sake of reference, only in 2-3 minutes, what are they? Rutam is Yatha Shastram Yatha Kartavyam Buddhau Suparinishchitam. Simple meaning is what? Whatever is to be done, not to be done, be convinced on the strength, authority of Shastra. That's called a Rutam. Don't take any decision independently, good or bad. Rutam. Then Satyam is what? Whatever is convinced of to be done should be done. Whatever is understood according to the authority of Shastra not to be done, which is in detriment, which is detrimental for us as well as the totality of the world outside, not doing that is called as Satyam. Theoretical, practical. The theory also authentic according to scriptures. Puja Gurudev calls these two as the proficiency and the efficiency. The intellectual knowledge conviction is called as proficiency, then the practical doing of that is called as efficiency. Both of them put together is a success. And then in a nice rhythmic manner, it can be said like that. We have to have the sufficiency in our proficiency as well as sufficiency in our efficiency for our success. If there is deficiency in our proficiency as well as deficiency in our sufficiency, efficiency, then we can never succeed in life. Sufficient proficiency. Proficiency is theoretical conviction. Equally important is the practical application. The theoretical conviction according to Shastra is Rutam about what is to be aimed as goal and how to achieve that, and also what is not to be done so that our growth is not stopped or not hindered. That is called Arutam. Why we have to follow Shastra? Because that is the revelation to the Rishis, Munis by the Lord Himself. Therefore, they are very authentic. More so, whoever with faith followed the Shastra from the beginning of creation till now, not even one have failed. They might have failed in their abiding to the Shastric way of living, but nobody failed when they followed what Shastra said. शास्त्र जैसे कहा वो करने में फेल हो गए होंगे, अब करने में फेल हुआ तो फल में भी फेल हो जाएंगे, बट जिसने फेल नहीं हुआ जो किए हैं दे ऑल बिकम सक्सेसफुल. Therefore, that is an authority for us. Therefore, Rutam. So to Satyam. Theoretical should be application, practically implemented. Okay. Then came Tapascha. So always ready to sacrifice. Always ready to work hard. Sacrifice the lower for the higher and make a habit of working hard. This is in simple language the meaning of tapasya. If you don't sacrifice lower, then you'll never get the higher. If you don't work hard, we don't get improved or get the better things. And this is an attitude. Tapasya is an attitude. Rutam is an attitude. Satyam is an attitude. Means understandings, creating the attitudes, maintaining that attitude and understanding on the surface of our antakarana as well, always available. We are estimating our behavior and changing it according to our these attitudes. That's a beautiful life. Consequence we can see. Like early morning, get up, take bath, feel your freshness. You can see the consequence of that day's whole day satisfaction. दिन भर जितना भी खचरा हो, सुबह उठ के 2 घंटा जप ध्यान किया, that day will be very fulfilling to us. करके देखो पता चलता. So to look back after evening and see today 4 or 5 classes we attended, we have heard these things. Itself is a great satisfaction. करने का हमेशा फल और आनंद दोनों होते. So these are all the attitudes, the tapasya. In that what is the conviction? यार मेहनत करना ही पड़ेगा तरक्की करने के लिए. Which we heard from childhood million times, but we never paid heed to it or heard it sincerely. That really our life become tapasya yukta. If really the life was of tapasya yukta, we would have achieved great heights. If you have achieved great heights means you have really done tapasya of hard work. Many of us do it in the worldly success. Now that habit has come to us, let us do again the same tapasya for spiritual unfoldment also. Yeah, so to damaha, a conviction, an attitude, an attempt to regulate our senses so that our energies, times are conserved and they can be guided, directed, used for the chosen spiritual goal. So to the shamaha, as we already discussed today, as our contribution, the quietness of mind, the regulation of the mind, control of the mind. See, this also we listen million times, but we never think that it is possible and it is to be made possible. That's how subject is hard, but never the inner subject is attended to or changed in such a way that really my mind is in my control. What the meaning of mind in my control, Dama? I am master of every thought and emotion that is coming to mind. Means what emotion or thought at what time required, I decide, and that only I allow to come in the mind. Any other emotion or thought coming because of various reason, at that very moment I am able to drop that thought, give up that thought. That ability is called as that shama. In due course of practice, no unwanted thought comes at all, and only the required thoughts consciously we are able to maintain. That is called shamaha. So the thoughts, the emotions of the mind in our check or control is called shamaha. It should be done as anushtanam. So shamaha, then agnayaha, procuring things for doing yajna, agnihotram, practically doing the yajna, atithi, then the atithi, guests of human being, animal, whoever they are, take care of them. Atithi means not only when they come home, wherever there you are in train, you have your own good sufficient food. You can say youngster bechara, nobody gave him, or he must be traveling, koi bhi ho. So giving him something there, that also is an atithi. Is it not? Even the TT is there, they all are there. They may have money, but at that time they may not have food. If you give one or two things which you made at home to give to them, how happy they feel, that is atithi. They may not take because of today's world कि ऐसे कोई दे देंगे खाएंगे बेहोश हो जाएंगे पैसे ले जाएंगे all that nonsense anyway there, but I'm talking about an attitude. See, when you call as Atiti Seva, there's not only the food that can be given, no? Many other things that are there, which are non-problematic or non-controversial or non-disturbing. Kuch bhi. Atiti is what? Ready to serve even unknown person with the best of the attitude and the things. What he needs and what I can give. That is called as Anushtana. Now, each of them have their own consequences in not only clearing our debts, but also in releasing, freeing our heart from the unwanted clutches of wrong emotions, etc. A person's heart, which is doing all these things regularly, is full of joy, full of enthusiasm, full of confidence and self respect, because these activities, attitudes naturally have to have the ability to provide these good qualities to our heart. देखो, that will definitely empower us, give a self satisfaction, a sense of fulfillment. With that sense of fulfillment, not at all having any regret or guilt, any of the higher things we can do. And the Lord is watching all our attitudes and activities, He will reciprocate. World also is watching, if not today. After 10 years at least, the world will recognize our nobility, then they will reciprocate with their help to us. Like we are doing our struggle of satsang. Now nobody is recognizing. Who knows, after 10 years, some may recognize and help us. And what help we need is reaching of the Shastra Jnana to many people so that they know what is Sanatana Dharma stands for, what is Hinduism, what is Mukti, and what every human being has to do. ये सब इन शास्त्रों को पता होता है और इसका प्रचार करना ही हमारा चाहत है. So anybody who can help us, who they may come. Our nobility, if not today, some other day it will be recognized. So with this positive faith. So damascha, shamascha, agnayascha, agnihotram cha, atitayascha. Anusteya. Then comes the manusham cha. Be a human being first. Not Hindu or that religion or this religion. Not this nation, that nation. This gora ya kala, या पैसे वाला बिना पैसे का, पढ़ा लिखा या नहीं पढ़ा. All of them are secondary. Primary is the Manusham. Manusham. Manushatva. Liana. Humanity. Beautiful it is. This Manushatva should go with us every life. Other things want to go. In this life, I may be crorepati. Next life, I may be roadpati only. This life, I might be doing double PhD. अगले जन्म में 7वें क्लास में फेल हो सकता हूँ. We don't know. But this Manushyatva should go with us. So while studying, listening itself, try to become conscious about the meaning of these things and how much we have done about these things so far. Can we do them more now? In this way, each of these have to be heard, understood, digested, committed, and tried as anushtanam. And the last three, the prajacha, it is very, very important. Must have children. That will come again in the next anuvaka also. Never go into the wrong thinking of any sort where we are not having the next generation. गलत है वो. बच्चे होना ही चाहिए. प्रजा then prajanascha, prajananam with the wife or husband having such a wonderful life, fulfillment, so that the mind is no more distracted anywhere. Then prajatischa, in the prajati, the next to next generation. First, the next generation is settled. Through them, the next to next generation comes. And it's like this. You have done your study of Taittiriya Upanishad. You taught the Taittiriya Upanishad to your children, and their children also you taught, and you have heard your grandchild listening, chanting the Darshanno Mitra Samno Marunaha or Utam Cha Swadhyaya. That should be the fulfillment. That's called the meaning of Prajati. I have done it, I have taught it to my children, I ensured that next to next generation also is exposed to this beautiful thing. That is our responsibility to the next generation तक. 3 generation का हमारा ये responsibility होता है. So to all other things, the earlier set, Rutam, Swadhyayam, Ityadi, all should be passed on to the through Praja to the Prajati. Praja is the immediate children, Prajati is the next generation after them. Is it not? How beautiful it would be. Like professionally, you feel कि my son and his son, if they take up the responsibility, like the thing that transition going on in the Reliance and all nowadays, you see, no, who is given what. देखा ना कल का ही लेटेस्ट न्यूज़ है that the children are given big responsibility. And I was really thinking about children, how glorious, how mature they must be, are ready to take up such a huge burden at one go. Because the one who started developing in little, he knows every intricacy. He is totally dedicated for that. The earlier to earlier generation. But the earlier next generation also worked hard, but they had a good company of the one who initiated. But this third generation, in this world of so many distractions, especially at the young age of 28 to 40, which may, if somebody is ready to manage the global thing, oh, it must be a big thing. But it is ensured. Maybe from how many years they are trying, Hora. An example. This is the worldly thing. Everybody does. You also give your shop company to your children, and you ensure that your grandchildren also take it up. And all these goldsmiths, they pass on that job. So many, how thousands of things are there that way. We are talking here. Along with that, the spiritual legacy also should be passed on. The spiritual, the cultural, the value, the self dependency, self management, little of serving society, taking care of nature and the God. These 8 things are the grandparents should see that with their intimacy, they pass it on to grandchildren. So if I teach to my grandchildren, what will my child do? So he will teach his grandchildren. Is it not? बढ़िया है प्रजातिश्च The prajati must be having, must be, because it is not only that the children, grandchildren are taken care, but they are going to be the part of the entire world, no? Wherever they go. So they become a strong supporting pillars. Not they themselves lean and thin, seeking some support to lean on to. No, it is a responsibility. See how glorious are our rishis munis to conceive, visualize how continuously the human race should go on evolving outside and inside. Not only they conceived the idea of evolution inner and outer, what is to be done for that evolution, practically they demonstrated by doing themselves. So this was there till few, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 decades back only. The company of grandchildren and grandparents, where the grandparents teaching to the children the stories of all the Purana and Itihasa and that slokas and all. It was so beautiful. अभी भी कुछ लोग कर रहे हैं. And I tell every woman between the age of 55 up to 65, 10 years, should catch hold of all the children around your locality, give them chocolate, love, and all, keep teaching them. They will learn, and while teaching them, we also learn more than all that at that age. Instead of getting lost in body identity and worries that why my children are not taking care of me, you can have a strong anchor and support of such a noble activity. Is it not? The Lord is pleased. There is a satisfaction to us. Deliberately karna hai, consciously, proving yourself that you are honest in loving, serving their children, do it. Prajati. Prajati, not only your grandchildren, but you can go to any school. Thousands of schools are there. 10 स्कूल में कोशिश करो, एक स्कूल तो मान लेगा भाई. I want to come 1 hour to your school, to your these class children. I want to teach morals. I want to teach these are the greatness of our India, Sanatana Dharma, India. Oh, आराम से मानेंगे वो लोग. I don't want any money also. I'll just come. Welcome. 1 hour, they are so happy to give those useless children to you. Imagine in that way if we can do Prajatischa. All the retired people, 3, 4 years, if they can give in this way, in empowering the youngsters with all the love regarding their personal future life and also of the nation and also of the culture and spirituality. And this should go on happening. Such schemes should be planned and given. Along with all the materialistic growth, scientific growth, वो भी रहने दो, उसको मना नहीं कर रहा है. But all these culture, tradition, spirituality, nation, values, इनको भी हमें करते जाना है. Now, all of these things are commonly added with one word, anushteyani, anushteyam, anushteyam. Never ever miss this word in life called as anushtana. Because only when we take something as anushtana, then we become responsible in doing it. Like you took coming to class as anushtana, then nothing is making you compromise that. Therefore, tension every day, 7:30, you are there. Maybe with the thought, 7:30 कब छूटेगी? I don't know, but you are. हाँ, ये 7:30 कब छूटेगी? कल से ही छूटेगी. कैसा? उसको हम 7:15 ही बनाएंगे. ओ नहीं नहीं नहीं, फिर 15 मिनट और जाएगा हमको. 7:15, 7:15 class. Don't you come? Why? How are you able to manage it? Is it not with that anushtana feeling? Whatever may be the reason you have, you anushtana. You may love me, you may love the Upanishad, you want to really learn or you are growing. चांस कुछ कारण कुछ बट अनुष्ठान है आपके दिल में. इसलिए some of you, at least 4 of you I know, 1, 2, 3, 4 mainly, 5 let us say, add 5, 4 only actually, fifth one irregular, 5 of you, 4, 5, 6. How beautiful it is. It's good to me also, for you also. And I also took as Anushtana. So with all odds, we just are pushing and pulling. Whether we are succeeding in doing it or not, but we are succeeding in our attempt of being regular through our Anushtana feeling, is it not giving joy? कोई भी चीज हम अनुष्ठान के रूप में नहीं लेते हैं ना, कभी नहीं करते. That is why Anushtaye, Anushteyam, Anushtaye, Bhagavan Shankara has deliberately used that word. It is not in the main mantra. Main mantra Rutam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Satyam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Anushthayani Anushtheye kaha likha hai wo? But that's what meant by the Rishi. Bhashyakara's job is, because he himself is the Rishi, knows what Shruti mentioned. Those days children didn't know. They were not required to be told that Anushtheye, because anything Guru says is Anushtana to them. Nowadays lightly बोलने वाले गुरु भी हैं, गुरुओं को lightly लेने वाले डिसाइपल भी हैं, इसलिए यहाँ जरूर बोलना पड़ता है भाई, many things you may take lightly but these are to be taken as anushtana. Only when we have anushtana, uncompromisingly we do. That is why people those take those anushtana of jagratas, anushtana of 40 days diksha and all so much worldly attituded people also. The time of anushtana, somehow they manage themselves to live life as they choose. कितने सारे हजारों लोग हैं अपने इंडिया में, हजारों ग्रुप्स who are taking up this type of अनुष्ठान. Anushtheye. Every one of us sacred. Now, in this way, keeping our mind, intellect highly inspired with all these great, grand, noble goals, while conducting in that way, we have to fulfill our life. देखो रहने के कुछ 80 90 70 60 100 साल जो भी है, खा पी के सबको रुला के एक दुनिया के भोर बभोज बनकर मरना, yeah, with those sacrifices and efforts, taking up this anushtana and contributing our lot or bit to the world in which we were there and the world which gave us so much. इसमें मजा है देखो, किसमें मजा है देख लेना. Really, you have to be serious in some things. We have become habitually careless in important things nowadays. This generation's biggest disease is habitually careless regarding important things right from their own health. You and I can't afford to do that. Think which life we should live. And all the abilities, all the potentialities, so much are there in us. And the Lord in us want to express them. He's so restless. और हम लोग हे भगवान, तू भी चुप बैठ, मैं भी चुप बैठ, तू सो जा, मैं सो जा. काहे का नालायक की तरह जी रहे हम. And in the same world, you see, there are people, irrespective of their age, 70 80 साल में भी कितना मेहनत कर रहे हैं. Sometime when I see these politicians above 75 80 year, अरे क्या हिम्मत है इनका, इतना ताकत है कि every meeting they are attending, everywhere they are giving their lectures. 80 years, मैं तो कहता हूँ रिटायर, उतना उम्र तक कौन करेगा. But it's very inspiring to see them. What they are doing good or not, that is secondary. That's all different discussion. They're all relative. They're all for totality. वो बस उसका अलग बात. But the mere fact that they get up early, they go to attend the meeting, do the dharnas, कोई जंतर मंतर जाते, कोई इधर जाते, सुबह 7 बजे जाकर नारे लगा रहे. Not youngers, all the elderly people. That means what? It is possible. That country where majority are this way, contributing with dynamism, taking noble activities and anushtana, that's a living, bubbling times of this history, which will really make history. And the other time where everyone, right from children, youth, only eating and sleeping and all, all the never developing nations have the people like that. Because they don't have the Rishi Parampara, they don't have such great Shastras to inspire them. They don't have the ideals to look up to in terms of the epics, etc., in terms of Rishimuni, etc., or even the present world. What they have as the icons are only those who are indulging people. But in our nation, it's not so. We have so many rishis, munis worked hard. Rishi scientists worked hard, looking at them and getting inspired from them. Then we also, with irrespective of whatever the age we are, Take these things as commitments and involve. Then, same attitude of commitment is maintained, but the projects are changed from all these worldly to spiritual. Before that, both of them. कुछ भी नहीं करने से अपने तरक्की के चीजें पहले करना, उसके साथ स्पिरिचुअलिटी ऐड करना. फॉर सम टाइम टेक केयर ऑफ बोथ ऑफ देम still till we settle in our maturity understanding. Thereafter, slowly we reduce the worldly and involve more in spiritual. In this way, with right maturity, when we conduct, there's a great satisfaction to us. Please सुनो, मरने से पहले ना जो किया है उसका एक satisfaction के साथ मरना. The question I ask to myself is, have I lived well? Pujya Gurudev's last sentence. Have I lived well? Sadhu Krutam, na Krutam, Krutam. Not to answer to anyone, not to prove, not to justify. ये सब बच्चों का खेल है. We are not competitors to anyone. We only are fulfilling our life. Have I done well? When I look back and say, yes, I could have done better, but not bad, fair, I can pass without anybody's grace, no grace marks. That's the great satisfaction. And that comes when we live entire life as Anushtana. Entire life, every moment is Anushtana. Not even 1 second also missed without doing something constructive and creative. That is the highest ideal. Not only theory. Work toward that. See how happy will be the entire Rishimuni Parampara. How great happy will be the Lord. How much they competingly with each other want to work through us. वो अलग ही जिंदगी है. आप उसको शब्दों में नहीं बता सकते. हम जीना शुरू करते खुद पता चलता है. What we are stressing from last 10 minutes is all these, don't take them lightly. Let us understand them and practice them, taking them as Anushtana. Anushtana. ये अनुष्ठान में दिल की बात. Everything Anushtana, like the commitment between wife and husband. It's an Anushtana. The commitment of parents towards children is an Anushtana. My loyalty to the company which is providing me salary job, Anushtana. I am living in this country, it is giving me all facilities. So I must love and serve my nation. It's an Anushtana. The Deha is given by the Lord, I must maintain it and use it for Lord. It is an Anushtana. Everything in life is Anushtana. Every moment is Anushtana. क्या बढ़िया रहेगा वो वाला जिंदगी. That's called as evolution, maturity of the intellect. When the intellect in this way matures, then the human is slowly becoming greater or divine. हो गया. सो इतना आप समझने के बाद और एक बात है जो भी है तो कल देखेंगे. नाउ इन भगवान भाष्य we will see how greatly he develops the last few thoughts. They are $1 million worth, more than that, billion, trillion. Yesterday also we promised that we will explain to you. कल भी हमारा टॉपिक और कुछ के रूप में चला गया. I'll be with all in between distractions. We try to reinstate into us what we studied earlier itself. But anyway, take 5 minutes and just introduction of the thought, what Bhagavan said we will see, and the deeper details with examples tomorrow. What did he say? Bhagavan sir, after explaining each of these things, prajati pautrotpattihi putraha niveshitavyaha iti etat. हो गया. Now in the next para he says, one line I will study and explain to you. Sarvaihi etaihi karmabhihi yuktasya api swadhyaya pravachane yatnataha अनुष्ठेये इति एवं अर्थम सर्वेण सह स्वाध्याय प्रवचन ग्रहणम. So why Swadhyaya Pravachana is added with every one of them? Why not, after mentioning all of the 12 things, toward the end once Swadhyaya Pravachana we would have added no? If a guru, a rishi in an Upanishad which is very concise, precise, one sentence only said 12 times, that too after every of these type of sadhanas to be done or the life to be lived, it must have something special in it. And the Bhashyakara job is to see such sublime, intricate things and bring to our notice. He enlightens us in these subtle aspects which otherwise we missed. We think it's only a repetition. Yeah, literally it is repetition, but why? What's the meaning? What's the purpose? Otherwise, no, Rishi or the Upanishad doesn't waste their own time or the time of the students with even one letter extra, one word extra. Then how come they said same thing barabar? Pagal hai kya? Bulakkad hai kya? No. This is what. Is it? No, listen very carefully. Sarvaihi etaihi karmabhi yuktasya api. First thing, let us become clear about it. Sarvaihi etaihi karmabhihi yuktaha. Means what? With all these 12 karmas which are said, we have to be yukta, means yoked, means associated, means fully involving in them with total commitment as anushtana. Clear? Api. Also, even that, along with that, each of them doing as anushtana, swadhyaya pravachane. The other very two important two things are Swadhyaya as well as Pravachana. Also, see the important words Yatnataha Anushtheye. With your own effort as an Anushtana, along with all these 12 karma, the Swadhyaya and Pravachana also have to be done. Have to be done. Iti evam artham, to convey this deeper committing meaning, sarvena saha, with each of these activities, swadhyaya pravachana grahanam, the swadhyaya pravachana are added. तो इन कामों में जितना भी बिजी हो उतना ही कमिटेडली स्वाध्याय प्रवचन को हमें यत्न के साथ अनुष्ठान के रूप में करना है. टू से दिस पॉइंट the rishi has said with every of these karma like rutam swadhyaya tapa ityadi, the swadhyaya pravachana he added. So rutam swadhyaya pravachanam, satyam swadhyaya pravachanam. Why it is added along with these things? Even this also should be yatnataha anushte. Underline the word yatnataha. Why it has to be done? Because the other 12 activities are so enchanting or engrossing or inviting us that we involve in them either to struggle or to enjoy or to get the profit. जिसको पैसे नहीं मिल रहा है मिलने के लिए, जिसको मिल रहा है उसको बड़ा करने के लिए, they get lost in that so much that the time and interest for spirituality itself never comes. Therefore, we ourselves have to create the interest and take out the time to convey this. The word yatnataha is added. यत्नतः अनुष्ठेय, प्रयत्न के साथ हमको इसका अनुष्ठान के रूप में स्वाध्याय प्रवचन भी करना है. Why so? Why? What is the importance in Swadhyaya Pravachana? What is Swadhyaya? What is Pravachana? Already told. Now, why they are so important are said in the next line. That also we'll study today. Tomorrow also we repeat that. Bhagavan himself gives the reason. The reason is Swadhyaya Adhinam hi Arthajnanam. Unless as an Anushtana with Prayatna, if you don't do the Swadhyaya of all the three things of listening from the Guru, studying at our own home, and comparing what we have studied with what we are living life, without doing this, Artha Jnanam will not come. Here, Artha means what? The meaning of the mantras. When they are Upanishads, the Upanishads are talking about the Chaturtha Purushartha, that is called Moksha Purushartha. So the Moksha Purushartha kya hai? उसको महान क्यों है? उसको क्यों पाना है? All that is called the Artha Jnanam. That without Swadhyaya, Artha Jnanam will not come. Artha Jnanam is both. The literal meaning is one meaning, Artha Jnanam ka artha. Dusra kya hai? The glory of that is never understood if you are not doing Swadhyaya. So Swadhyaya Adhinam hi Artha Jnanam. Only you do the Parayana, you never know the Artha if you don't listen from a master and yourself study at home. And why the Artha Jnanam should be there? Artha Jnana Ayatam cha Param Shreyaha. अरे भाई, आपको मीनिंग ही नहीं है मंत्रों का पता, तो हाउ कैन यू डू साधना एंड गेट योर परम श्रेय कॉल्ड एज मोक्षा? Now you understand why people inspired by the word meditation sit for meditation for years together, reaching nowhere. Both the teacher also is confused as to what is meditation, what is to be aimed at. कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. इज मेडिटेशन, सिनेमा में एक मेडिटेशन ही है, सीरियल देखने में एक मेडिटेशन है. Everyone talk about meditation and everybody halfway only they take us. They never teach us meditation, which gives the param shreyas, called as the experience of the ultimate truth, called as liberation. Why? They never studied the Shastra themselves. They're fascinated by the word and they do something or the other, but not the thing. Remember these two Mahavakyas. What is that? Only in the Anushtana of this Svadhyaya that the Artha Jnanam will come. And only when the Artha Jnanam is Pakka, through meditation and other sadhanas, the moksha, which is Param Shreya, we can gain, not otherwise. Now, this is a homework to you. Feel the meaning of these two sentences as told by Shankara throughout the day. अनुष्ठान के रूप में स्वाध्याय करने से ही अर्थ ज्ञान होता है, अर्थ ज्ञान से ही परम श्रेयस मिलता है. Because the artha jnanam inspires us for the param shreyas. With that inspiration, when you do it, then you get the moksha. अब स्वाध्याय ही नहीं किया तो मीनिंग कैसे पता चलेगा? बिना मीनिंग पता चले साधना का कैसा पता होगा? बिना जाने साधना क्या है एक्चुअली एंड डूइंग इट, हाउ कैन यू गेट द परम श्रेय द मोक्ष? Now remember, and we have to add always this thing, with the study this way of Shastra every day, we have to remind ourselves of the ultimate goal as Paramatma. Even though we have to do Rutam Swatyam, Tapa, Damaha, Shamaha, Agneya, Agnihotram, then Atiti, Prajati, Praja, and all that Manusham, yet none of them are ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is Paramatma. And that individual in whom, because of Guru Krupa and Swadhyaya of the Shastra, conviction has come that I must experience my Paramatma Tattva, is the most blessed and lucky. And how to achieve that if he knows that also? And he's on the path. It's a question of only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 lives for him, that he'll be in the experience of that most sublime, all permeating truth. He is liberated. And those people, how much ever they are successful in the world outside, with all their great, honest, decent, beautiful legal efforts, yet they are unfortunate if they don't know that the Paramatma is ultimate goal. Such people को ये होता है कि खाली हाथ आया, खाली हाथ जाएगा. बट ये बंदा जो आध्यात्मिक है, आया वो खाली हाथ, अब दोनों हाथ भरकर जाएगा, because he is learning and doing his spiritual sadhana, and in the next life he continues from where he left here, if he did not realize in this very life. Think about all these things. इसलिए हमने उस दिन कहा ना, सब कुछ किया, जो करना तो नहीं किया तो क्या किया. सब कुछ पाया लेकिन वो नहीं पाया तो क्या पाया. सब कुछ जाना लेकिन वो नहीं जाना तो क्या जाना. This is very important thought. After this only the next thought comes, then वो चीज जिसको जानने से, पाने से सब जाना जाता है, पाया जाता है, मैं उसके लिए कोशिश करूंगा. Please remember, energies, abilities, time, talents remain same. Are you using them for arthakama purushartha? Are you using for dharma upasana purushartha? Or are you using it for moksha purushartha? That decides where you end up or land up. Time is same, energies are same, talents are same, abilities are same. Opportunities are widely open for all the four. Advertisement also is there for four. More advertisement is for arthakama. More enchanting, more fascinating is that, because people are there more in that majority. So they have all the abilities, talents to inspire us. We, the spiritual, don't have the ability or talent or resources or the helping hands to do the boasting and publicity of this moksha purushartha. Unfortunate. No government helps us. None of you help us. Nobody help us. We only have to struggle. तो चारों चीजों का अपने अपने लेवल पे एडवर्टाइजमेंट है. और हमारे पास चारों में कुछ भी कर कर पाने की ताकत है. अब choice is yours. That's why the Arthakama Purushartha in Brahmacharya Grahastha Dharma Purushartha in Vanaprastha, Moksha Purushartha is beyond. देखो नहीं तो क्या किया फिर. As I told you the other day, when we go to the Lord and put in front of Him, so many things we have done. Them aside and look out for only thing, how much of spiritual study and sadhana you have done. I told you this example of Puja Gurudev. When his 75th birthday was there, it was 1991. We did 75 activities and we sent a letter to Gurudev. You know what reply he gave? On that letter only, your list of activities made a good reading. I have not seen any of spiritual activities. My children, those who don't study the Shastras, are not my children. Remove my name from your CHYK, Chinmay Yoga Kendra, CH ko निकाल दो. Only let it remain as YK. Gurudev so simply but strongly wrote. You did so many activities, but where did you study Shastra? Oh, it was eye-opener. That is why, though we can do million things, I can entertain the children, I can entertain the youth, I can run behind the oldies to catch them, though they are not catchable. Like that, so many funny things can be done. Keeping aside all of that, why we are shouting morning, after evening, only on the Shastra? This is the authority. Pujya Gurudev is our authority. हाँ? देखो हिंदी गाना याद रखना, अनाड़ी वाला. सब कुछ सीखा हमने, न सीखा होशियारी, सच है दुनिया वालों कि हम है अनाड़ी. ऐसा कुछ है गाना. सब सीखा, लेकिन जो सीखने से हमारे सीख का कोई मीनिंग होता है, मायना, वो नहीं सीखा तो क्या. घर में सीखो का कंपनी का घड़ी लगाई, लेकिन दिमाग के कुछ सीखा ही नहीं. अनुष्ठानम. Please help yourself. Don't get misguided by the mind and the world outside. There is satisfaction only in knowing Paramatma's ultimate goal and in trying to achieve Him and in achieving Him. All else is delusory attempts, illusory attempts. Never keep them as goal. At the same time, every one of them have to be done as anusthana because they are obligation, because they give inner purification, because they clear all the debts. उतना ही उसको करना है, उनमें से कोई भी चीज को लक्ष्य नहीं मानना. And what reminds us as lakshya at every moment is swadhyaya. That's why with every activity done, swadhyaya. नहीं तो उसको हम लक्ष्य मानकर फंस जाते. अग्नयः अग्निहोत्रम अतिथयः, इसको लक्ष्य बना के बस गए. एंड वी हैव लॉस्ट साइट ऑफ आवर knowing the ultimate goal and pursuing it. So swadhyaya adhinam eva artha avagamaha, artha avagameva moksha prapti. Okay, swadhyaya adhinam artha jnanam, artha jnanayatam cha param shreyaha. Param Shreya will come only when we know the meaning. Meaning comes to us only when you do regular swadhyaya, regular anushthanam. Now you and I see with last 2.5 years effort, thoda thoda artha jnanam aa raha hai. Slowly we are, those people, some of you I know in the beginning, Swami हमको पगती पटाओ, ज्ञान का नहीं चाहिए. Now you know your mind intellect. If you have listened really, I can't guarantee it again. आप श्रद्धा भक्ति से सुने होते हैं तो मन में बात बन रहा है. Good it is upasana, but not sufficient. I also must know what my essential self for nature. धीरे धीरे पता चल रहा है. Isn't it? Behind my pseudo individuality, there is a real self. Today it will be discussed at length in our Bhagavad class. When Uddhavaji asks question, Bhagavan answers. The next two slokas question and 15 slokas answer by Bhagavan is a very, very good subject. And more beautiful and sweeter than that will come when we slowly enter into the second Valli in this Taittiriya Upanishad. In that first Valli, pura upasana सब होने के बाद second Valli will take, and how like a चाइल्ड इज फेड बाय द मदर, भगवान दे ऋषि वन बाय वन कोश हमको कैसे पार करना है समझाते हुए आत्मा आनंद में बिठाकर हा वो हमसे कराएंगे. आई टेल यू इट्स सो ग्रेट. वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी दैट. लेट इट टेक टाइम. अब आप मुझे मिल गए 10 लोग जो मुझे छोड़ने नहीं वाले, 5 लोग, तो मेरे को काफी है. मैं अपने आप आराम से पढ़ते पढ़ाते आगे बढ़े. So evening class also will tell us, subsequent Vallis also tell us, ultimate goal and all that. Here also, regular study alone gives us the Artha Jnanam. Artha Jnan में ही चतुर्थ पुरुषार्थ मोक्ष है. ये साध्याय क्यों करना? And why the pravachana has to be done every day? That also is told. Pravachanam tad avismaranartham. That's what I am telling you every day. Only when take responsibility of speaking, then we remember it more. That's why Gurudev gave the idea of every mission member to conduct one or the other study group. कुछ तो आप involve होना. Because only when you do pravachana, you will not forget it. Otherwise, जैसे आप, मैं को क्यों याद हो रहा है? क्योंकि मैं लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ. आपको कोई जरूरी नहीं है याद. क्यों आप लेक्चर नहीं दे रहे, इससे भूल रहे. I am doing pravachanam, therefore I am taking it as responsibility to remember what's done in morning class, afternoon, evening and other textbooks. मैं प्रयत्न हो रहा है, सफलता भी हो रही है आद का, क्योंकि I took responsibility of pravachana. Pravachana is अनुष्ठान. First one is pravachanam tada vismarnartham. Second is what? Dharma vruddhyartham. So these are the bhashyas which have become authority for Gurudev, because of which throughout life he went on giving the Jnana Yajnas, which is prerana for us also. When we are chanting evening class में ना, after the class आदि शंकरा स्तोत्रम, एक एक स्तोत्र पढ़ते आंखों में पानी आ रहा मुझे कि इतने इतने सारे स्तोत्र भगवान ने लिख के रखा, हमको उसका लिस्ट भी नहीं पता. His entire life was dedicated to Sanatana and Shastras. He wrote Bhashya, he wrote Prakarana Grantha, he wrote this Bhakti Granthas, he established Mathas, he established Amnayas, he trained the disciples, he made Dashnama Sannyasa, he gave them all this responsibility. Age of 32 में, 32 years he left the world. What a colossal amount of work. उसको दृष्टि में रखकर देखो, लगता है भगवान आदिशंकर कभी सोए ही नहीं होंगे, कहीं एक क्षण भी किसी चीज के लिए वेस्ट नहीं किए होंगे. उनकी जिंदगी में रेस्ट नामक कोई चीज नहीं होता, नहीं हुआ होगा. Then only he could have done all that. He had done all that. And what about you and I? So dharma vruddhyartham pravachanam. देखा, it is our compulsory duty to see that the Sanatana Dharma, whose support is the Shastras, in which Moksha Purushartha is exhaustively explained, it is our duty to spread the Shastra Jnana Sanatana Dharma everywhere. This is said anciently in the Rishi Kala of the Vedic period itself, in the Taittiriya. देखो, बट आते आते बीच के समय में वी ऑल बिकम इंटेलिजेंट इन द वर्ल्डलीनेस. खुद भी पढ़ना भूल गए, अब खुद ही नहीं पढ़ रहे तो दूसरों को कहां पढ़ाएंगे? Now how clear is the Bhashya of Bhashyakara? Why 12 times Swadhyaya Pravachana is given? This is the meaning. Ataha Swadhyaya Pravachanayoho Adaraha Karyaha. Conclusion is what? Therefore, you should respectfully, reverentially, as a commitment, should commit to the Swadhyaya and Pravachana while doing other 12 things. Now, to emphasize this, the Rishi gives the example of 3 great Maharishis of that time. Ratitaraha, Maudgalyaha and Nakaha. What each of those gurus said, that we will see tomorrow. Then the entire thing once more we summarize, and little later, toward the end, we will start the Dashama Anuvaka also. Aham Vriksha Saririva. That will be our tomorrow Ganesh Chaturthi day. Our class will be Sarvam Sri Rishi Parampara, Muni Parampara, Devata Parampara, Shruti Matho, Parabrahma Tattva, Sharanara Vindarvanamastu. Om 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 पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। परमो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। वेदव्यासवैशम्पायने आज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशङ्करादि सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। ॐ यश्चन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मण कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय आवहन्ते वितन्वाना कुर्वाणा चीरमात्मनः वासागंसि मम गावश्च अन्नपाने च सर्वदा ततो मे श्रियमावह लोमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा आमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा शमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा यशोजने सानि स्वाहा श्रेयान्वस्य सोसानि स्वाहा तन्त्वाभगप्रविशानि स्वाहा समाभगप्रविश स्वाहा तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे निबगाहन्त्वयिमृजे स्वाहा यथा पप्रवतायन्ति यथा मासा अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धातरायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाभाहि प्रमापद्यस्व। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Some Vedic mantra. It is a part of Taittiriya only. Toward the end as Parayana. Now let us join for Viduraniti.